The word crisis in Chinese is actually comprised of two characters, 危机, or in Cantonese, 危機. The first word means danger or crisis, and the second word means opportunity. So the two words together, 危機 or 危機, means whenever there is a danger or a crisis, there is also an accompanying opportunity. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This is Life is Awesome, where I try to make your day a little bit better. Today, we're going to talk about the coronavirus, this pandemic that's affecting us all. I'd like to talk about how we can respond to the situation around us. If you like the contents of this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of new videos. As of the current recording of this video, there are more than 45 million cases and over 1.1 million deaths. In the USA alone, there are more than 9 million cases and that's increasing by about 90,000 people a day. Those are quite horrible numbers if you think about it. So the situation seems to be quite bad, right? The economy is taking a hit, businesses are going out of business, people are being trapped in their homes, social lives are deteriorating. Actually, even the divorce rate has been increasing because interestingly, when husband and wives are in the same house for a very long time, like almost 24 hours a day now, the more they see each other, the more annoyed they get with each other. And in the past, when the spouses have to go out and work, they leave the house, they go off and do their own thing for 8-10 hours. That's actually okay, and the problems are not manifested as much because at least they get some separation time. But now when they're together all the time, then the problems compound, and then now we see the divorce rates taking off. So if we think about it, the current pandemic, every about 100 years there is going to be a pandemic. The last one being the Spanish flu back in 1918. And that one back then killed about 50 million people. So right now, about 1 million people died. The Spanish flu was 50 times worse, but obviously the coronavirus is not finished yet, so hopefully it's not going to be as bad as the Spanish flu. What I want to talk about today is that a really bad situation happens to us, and quite often in life you'll find that life is kind of like a roller coaster. You get highs and you get lows, you get really bad situations imposed on you and you have absolutely no control over it. But there is a difference between what happens to you and how you respond to it. You cannot prevent the coronavirus from happening, but you can choose the response in which you respond to it. We don't downplay what has happened. We don't ignore what has happened. We don't just say, oh, it didn't happen, and just completely ignore it. We can't do that. The coronavirus is real and it happened. But after it happened, how do we respond? A lot of people lost their jobs. Unemployment is at an all-time high, and governments around the world are scrambling to get financial relief to its citizens who have lost their jobs. And losing a job is usually a bad thing for a lot of people because it causes financial stress, and then it causes problems with the relationships because of financial problems. And people worry about how to put food on the table for their spouse and for their kids. Losing a job is considered a bad thing. But there actually could be good things about this. The word crisis in Chinese is actually comprised of two characters, 危機, or in Cantonese, 危機. The first word means danger or crisis, and the second word means opportunity. So the two words together, 危機 or 危機, means whenever there is a danger or a crisis, there is also an accompanying opportunity. What do I mean by that? Say you lose your job, and it is a bad thing because you don't have your income anymore, but maybe it's a good thing because now you're able to reflect on your life and think about whether that job was appropriate for you. And then you might actually embark on a new journey and find and do something that you actually like. Find a new job, or you find a new passion, or start a business, or maybe even move to another country. Well, not in this pandemic, but if there was no pandemic, if you lost your job, then you could consider moving to another country and trying living there and working there. So when you lose your job, you can respond to it in many different ways. You can respond to it by saying, man, my life sucks. My life is over. My relationships are over. And you just think doom and gloom. Or you can respond to the bad situation by saying, okay, now I have time to reflect. Should I get another job of a similar nature, or should I move on to another type of job? You might find that you actually find a better paying job as a result of you losing your current one. Human beings are very afraid of change. We're very afraid of the unknown. We do a lot of things to maintain stability and not changing things and staying in our comfort zone. But staying in our comfort zone, often what happens is you lose sight of the bigger picture. You're not willing to venture out of your comfort zone because you don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes a crisis like a pandemic which causes you to lose your job might be a good thing because it offers you opportunities that might not have been possible if you had not lost your job. So as frustrating the pandemic could be, think about it this way. How can I modify my lifestyle or my life situation, or how can I spend this time that I'm being stuck at home and I can ponder more about what are the important things in my life? What are my important values? Now that we have more time to think about learning new things or pursuing hobbies that you have never had a chance to. Because I have a chance to work at home, now I have more chance to, instead of spending 2 hours commuting every day, now I can spend that time on learning something new or spending that time with my family. We can always make lemonade out of lemons. I know that's pretty cliche, but that is actually true. We always have to try to look and see how we can make our current situation better. How can we make the most out of a bad situation? We don't ignore it, we don't deny it, but it does us no good to be doom and gloom. So take this opportunity to evaluate your life situation. How can you make it better and take advantage of the current crisis? The crisis has been put on you, there's nothing you can do about it, but how you respond to it makes all the difference. This is Life is Awesome. If you like the contents of this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.